Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear students, today we are going to discuss chapter number 11, which is the first chapter of part 2, book 2 for second year. First year at Harrow, written by Sir Winston Spencer Churchill. If we talk about Sir Winston Spencer Churchill, he was a British statesman and leader during World War II. He received Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953. This chapter is the story of his admission to Harrow School, which is located in the town of Harrow, England. He tells us about his story in a very humorous way. He says that I had scarcely passed my 12th birthday when I entered the inhospitable regions of examination through which for the next 7 years I was destined to journey. He further tells us about his examination. He says that they were a great trial to me. The subject which were dearest to the examiner were invariably those I fancied the least. Actually, Sir Winston Churchill wanted to be examined in poetry, in history, and writing essays, but the examiners always put questions on Latin and mathematics and Greek. And their will prevailed. Moreover, the question which they asked on both these subjects were almost invariably those to which I was unable to suggest a satisfactory answer. I should have liked to be asked to say what I knew. They always tried to ask what I did not know. When I would have willingly displayed my knowledge, they sought to expose my ignorance. This sort of treatment had only one result. I did not do well in the examination. Now we'll talk about his entrance examination to Harrow Public School. This was especially true of my entrance examination to Harrow. And we will also discuss the deep observance of Mr. Weldon, who was the headmaster of Harrow Public School, and how did he do his Latin paper will also be discussed in this video. The headmaster, Mr. Weldon, however, took a broad-minded view of my Latin prose. He showed discernment in judging my general ability. This was more remarkable because I was found unable to answer a single question in the Latin paper. We'll talk about Latin paper. How did he do his right paper? He says, I wrote my name at the top of the page. I wrote down the number of the question 1. After much reflection, I put brackets around it. First of all, he wrote his name at the top of the page, wrote down the number of question 1, put brackets around it. But thereafter I could not think of any connected with it that was either relevant or true. Incidentally, there arrived from nowhere in particular a blot and several smudges. I gazed for 2 whole hours at this sad spectacle, and then merciful ushers collected my piece of foolscap mean paper. With all those others, carried it to the headmaster's table. Deep observance of Mr. Weldon. As we have discussed earlier that Mr. Weldon was headmaster of Harrow Public School at that time. It was from the slender indication of scholarship that Mr. Weldon drew the conclusion that I was worthy to pass into Harrow. It was his deep observance that Mr. Spencer Churchill was worthy to pass into Harrow Public School. It is very much to his credit. It showed that he was a man capable of looking beneath the surface of things, a man of dependent upon paper manifestations, a man not dependent upon the paper manifestations. I have always had greatest regard for him. Now we'll discuss the divisions of classes and Spencer's place in the class. In those schools, there are four divisions of classes. The best class is known as Premier Division. The highest class is called Premier Division. The first division for for first rank, for second rank, this is called the second division. For third rank students, the class is called the third division, and for fourth rank students, the class is called the fourth division. In consequences of his decision, I was due course placed in the third or lowest division of fourth or bottom. The names of the boys were printed in the school list alphabetically. As my correct name is Spencer Churchill, began with an S, I gained no more advantage from alphabet than from the wider sphere of letters. I was in fact only two from bottom of the whole school, and these two, I regret to say, disappeared almost immediately through illness or some other cause. Simply saying, he was placed at the third rank, at third place from bottom, and those two boys, those two students left out the class. Now we'll discuss Mr. Somervell. He was his teacher of English and his delightful teaching technique. Mr. Somervell, a most delightful man, to whom my debt is a great, was charged with the duty of teaching the stupidest boys the most disregarded thing, namely to write mere English. He knew how to do it. He taught it as no one else ever taught it. Not only did we learn English parsing thoroughly, but we also practiced continually English analysis. Mr. Somervell had a system of his own. Now I will discuss what was his system. He took a fairly long sentence, broke into its components by names of black, red, blue, and green inks, subject, verb, object, relative clauses, conditional clauses, conjunctive and disjunctive clauses. Each had its color and its brackets. It was a kind of drill. We did it almost daily. As I remained in the third there 3 times as long as anyone else. I had 3 times as much of it. What had English done to him? I learned it thoroughly. Thus I got into my bones the essential structures of ordinary British sentence, which is noble thing. And even when in the after years my school fellows who had won prizes and distinction for writing such beautiful Latin poetry and pitchy Greek epigrams had to come down again to common English to earn their living or make their way, I did not feel myself any disadvantage. In the end of essay, he talks about the importance of English. He says, naturally, I am biased in favor of the boys learning English. I would make them all learn English. And then I would let the clever ones learn Latin as an honor, a Greek as a treat, but the only thing I would whip them for is not knowing English. I would whip them hard for that. What is his advice to the students? He says, I am biased in favor of boys learning English. I would make them all learn English, and Then I would let the clever ones learn Latin as an honor, Greek as a treat. But one and only thing I would whip them for is not knowing English. I would whip them hard for that. Question and answer of this chapter will be discussed in the next video. Allah Hafiz.